One of the other things that you and I have thrown out here in our conversation is this phrase antibiotic stewardship. But maybe let's take a moment and step back and really define what antibiotic stewardship is.
Yeah, that's a good point because I think we all sort of have an intuitive definition of what it means, and that those are generally pretty good. But antimicrobial stewardship is fairly explicitly defined, and in the human medical fields, formal antimicrobial stewardship plans have proliferated, and in large part because there is some motivation to do so because the way that the human medical enterprise is funded, and there's an ability for there to be some carrots to get those plans built inside of human specialties. In veterinary medicine, the client bears the complete cost, and so for veterinarians, it's a little bit more about explaining, training, and recruiting folks to consider these more formal plans. But they're centered around five core principles, five core concepts. And the first of those is to commit to stewardship. And this is more than just giving it airtime, right? It means that somebody in the organization owns it. That's certainly within the Swine Med Education Center. Things only get done if somebody owns the project. It's really tough to have multiple owners. So somebody eats, sleeps, and breathes that issue. You have to have a plan that folks can physically evaluate and read, and you need investment. It's going to take some upfront money in order to recoup the value. The second core is advocate for a system of care to prevent common diseases. This is why I think formal stewardship plans actually illustrate what swine producers are already good at, and actually prove to the rest of the medical community and to a lot of our consumers that we've been on this game for a while now. We've been working to prevent. Biosecurity has always been important to us. We've taken it to pretty sophisticated levels in some instances with filtering and things like that. So advocating for that system of preventive care, I think, is where we actually excel, and we should demonstrate that. The third is to select and use antimicrobial drugs judiciously. So this is the part of the five that we've also been working on, and generally what people consider stewardship is really this judicious use, and that's using evidence, finding barriers to the correct use of them, and then assessing outcomes. One of the things I like about being in the pig arena for health is the laboratories functioning every day, and it's a matter of how much data we manage to collect and how quickly we manage to learn from it. The fourth then is evaluate antimicrobial drug use practices. So what works, what doesn't work and should be discarded because it's just an old paradigm, or it started when we didn't have better options, or we all have examples of those. But figure out what works and distribute that as far as we can. And then the last is educate and build expertise, right? And I think what we're learning is that there are some gaps in our education system that we can fill in, and that we can create a higher level of utility for our graduates and prepare them better. And so there are a lot of exciting programs going on in that arena as well. But those five core principles: educate, build expertise, evaluate drug use practices, select and use antimicrobial drugs judiciously, advocate for a system of preventive care, and commit to stewardship are really the foundation. And I think we excel at some of those already, so we should let the world know about it.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. We do so many of those already, and we don't really even think about it. And we don't talk about it as much as we should. So certainly that's something we should continue to move forward and communicate with our consumers and others.
And I do think at some point we'll be expected to build those plans. That's on the horizon. Now the question is, will it be, will it be the carrot or the whip approach to getting it done, right? And I think we have an opportunity to make it the carrot approach by getting out in front of it and demonstrating some value and getting it done ahead of that.